Pangasinan, 100 Islands, 100 Flavors. Join me as I revisit and rediscover my beloved province in my home plain at the northwest of Philippines is the land of salt Pangasinan. The name is derived from a saying, but people are sweet and welcoming. The gateway to the north. What better way to know more about Pangasinan is we discovered this place. Pangasinan as destination for tourists who wish to explore islands and beaches, waterfalls, and feast of tasty local cuisine. The total straight line distance between Manila and Pangasinan is 155 kilometers, all just 3 to 4 hours of drive from. It is the third biggest province in the whole Philippines archipelago. It derives its name from salt or asin in the vernacular, owing to the rich and fine salt beds, which were the prime source of livelihood of the province's coastal towns. Panag-Asinan or Pangasinan, which means where salt is made, came to be its name. In fact, two of their main products are bagoong or shrimp paste and alamang that gives additional flavor to these dishes. Add Pangasinan to your bucket list if you're looking for a quiet escape from the city. The province is a crescent shape and occupied for 536,818 hectares of land area, which constitute almost 1.5% of the total land area of region. It is 1.8% of the total area of the Philippines. Composed of 4 cities and 44 municipalities, it is bounded to the north by Lingayen Gulf, La Union, and Benguet. On the north is by Nueva Vizcaya, and the east by Nueva Ecija. On the south by Tarlac, and the west by Zambales and China Sea. Owing to its diverse cultural heritage rooted in centuries of glorious history and a way of life that is delightful combination and tradition, innovation and creativity, the warm, polite and hospitable, hardworking and fun-loving 2 million Pangasinenses enjoy the best of province Philippines, where you find both the familiar and familiar world. Abreast with modern technological times, but with a preserved vast panorama of outstanding natural beauty and unique attractions. Pangasinan boasts of stretches of white sandy beaches, verdant hills, scenic terrains, caves, waterfalls, ancient Hispanic churches, miraculous destination for devotees, a vast coastline for fishing, water sports for leisurely walking along the Lingayen Beach, where one can get a glimpse of the world's famous Philippine sunset. Being a gateway of sorts, the province is home to major and minor telecommunication companies, bus and transportation services, regional and local publication, radio station, television networks, cable services, hotel and restaurant chains, and a diversified variety of manufacturing and merchandising establishments. The northern gate of Pangasinan is a crescent-shaped province that occupied 5,368.82 square kilometers of verdant farmlands, hills, forests, and rivers. To the east, it is bounded by the mighty Cordillera Mountains, the Zambales Ranges to the west, the rice plains of the Tarlac to the south, and the Lingayen Gulf and the China Sea to the north. Because of the strategic geographical positioning, it has always been described as a gateway of sorts. Most travelers going up north often remember Pangasinan as the place where they had last seen some semblance of civilization, comparing it with the sparsely populated regions of the Ilocanos and the Cagayan Valley. Historian Rosario Mendoza Cortez writes in her book Pangasinan in 1572 to 1800 that according to Bishop Domingo de Salazar, Pangasinan was 40 leagues distant from Manila, either by land or by sea. Roughly translated, travelers of old normally take about 30 hours to reach Manila via horse and carriage. After the eruption of Mount Pinatubo, travel time was normally 5 to 7 hours, as normally route points like Bamban and Macalacat were closed temporarily. Today, 5 hours is the norm, although private vehicle can sometimes negotiate the route under 4 hours. Most major bus companies ply the Manila-Pangasinan route, complemented by a host of local bus lines, which can be hired for private purposes and tours. Most bus services operated in 24-hour basis. Major services are active in Pangasinan. National diaries as well as local publications are available. There are 20 radio stations and one regional television station. Cable services have mushroomed even in areas far from urbanized centers of Dagupan, Ordaneta, and Aluminas. At the latest survey, Pangasinan has the highest tele-density in the country outside of Metro Manila, with the presence of three major telecommunication companies. And the people of culture of Pangasinan, much have been written and discussed about the Pangasinense, yet no one definite image comes to mind. There is a strong perception that the province is basically of Ilocano stock, but aside from the fact that Ilocano is more widely spoken than Pangasinan, the defining characteristic end there. The Pangasinense is hardly frugal in the true sense of the word, nor is he extravagant either? Special occasions such as fiestas, wedding, baptisms are exceptions wherein extravagance is necessary to save face. But then most other Filipinos in other region are similar in that respect. History tells us, however, that the Pangasinense has always been sensitive to issues concerning his welfare. One of the first local revolts during the Spanish colonization was instigated by Binalatungan native or Andres Magalong in 1660. The Pangasinan people or Tutuan Pangasinan are called Pangasinan or the Hispanized name Pangasinense or simply Taga-Pangasinan, which means native of Pangasinan. Pangasinan people were known as the traders, business people, farmers, and fishers. Pangasinan is the third most populated province in the Philippines, as estimated population in the indigenous speakers of Pangasinan language in the province of Pangasinan is almost 2 million. According to 2000 census, 47% of the population are native Pangasinan and 44% are Ilocano settlers. Indigenous Sambal people predominate in the westernmost municipalities of Bolinao and Anda. The Pangasinan people are closely related to Austronesian-speaking people of the Philippines as well as Indonesia and Malaysia. Pangasinan has the gift of earth and sea. Pangasinan is rooted to the earth. Agriculture-based production remains as the major source of income for majority of the populace. Aquaculture is almost popular in areas where instead of farmlands, varied squares of artificial ponds for fish rearing are found. Through the years, as the demand for particular fish stock rose and fell, fish ponds owners have adapted by sticking to traditional favored and stable growing fish species like the bangus or milkfish, the malaga and prawns. With agriculture currently mobilizing more than half of the local labor force, the current administration has seen the need to boost its effort in this area. Pangasinan also suffered and experienced El Nino and La Nina. Like the rest of the country and the world, in 1998 was Pangasinan hottest year with temperatures soaring beyond the 40 degrees. The lingering effect of the El Nino and La Nina phenomenon continued to affect the local climate. Normally, the dry season begins in November to April and wet during the rest of the year. Typhoon intermittently wreak havoc with some various flooding in the eastern towns. However, the presence of a long coastline with attractive beaches offset the hot and humid weather. Sun-loving tourists affirm that Pangasinan's current climate is perfect. It figures place the population at 2,436,086 distributed in the province of 44 towns, 4 cities, and 1,364 barangays. English and Filipino are widely spoken and are the mediums of instruction of all schools. Ilocano is the major dialect spoken by a greater portion of the population in the western and eastern areas. There are some fear that the Pangasinan dialect spoken predominantly in the central areas is losing its hold on the local tongue. Bolinao and the northernmost tip of western Pangasinan has a unique language of its own, also called Bolinao. The province economy is mainly agriculture due to its vast fertile plains. More than 44% of agricultural area is devoted to crop production. Aside from being one of the Philippines' rice granaries, Pangasinan is also a major producer of coconut, mango, and eggplant. Pangasinan is the richest province in the Ilocos region. Pangasinan is a major fish supplier in Luzon and a major producer of salt in the Philippines. It has extensive fish ponds mostly for raising bangus or milkfish along the coast of Lingayen Gulf and the South China Sea. Pangasinan aquaculture includes oyster and sea urchins farm. Salt is also a major industry. In salt evaporated ponds, seawater is mixed with sodium carbonate until the water evaporates and the salt remains. This is the ancient tradition inspired from Egypt. The major crop of Pangasinan are rice, mango, corn, and sugar cane. Pangasinan has a land area of 5,036,819 hectares and 44% of total land area of Pangasinan is devoted for agriculture production. Pangasinan was among the earliest political and administrative units in the Philippines. It was officially conquered and colonized by D. Martin de Goiti in 1571 on April 5, 1572. Pangasinan was made an encomienda by the Spanish royal crown to receive instructions on the Catholic faith, which means that Pangasinan was organized under the leadership and has identity before the Spanish royal court. 8 years later, in 1580, Pangasinan was organized into a political unit under Alcalde Mayor, who at that time had authority as head of the province or provincial government with judicial function, indicating that Pangasinan had become a province. To commemorate the day when Pangasinan became encomienda, the year it became a province, Pangasinan celebrates April 5, 1580 as the official founding day of the province of Pangasinan. At the time, the territorial jurisdiction included the province of Zambales and part of La Union and Tarlac. And by the middle of the 19th century, however, the northern town of Agoo to Bacnoten were separated from the province and become part of La Union. The provincial territory was further diminished in 1875 with the annexation of Panique and other towns of south of it to Tarlac. Here are the most tourist spots of Pangasinan. 100 Island National Park. The Pangasinan 100 Island National Park in Aluminos is the top Pangasinan destination for local and international travelers alike. The protected area boasts of 123 islands scattered across Lingayen Gulf. Each islet is uniquely shaped and believed to have been formed millions of years ago, making the view of them even more special and rare. Some of the islands have white sand beaches, while some feature limestone cliffs. The best way to enjoy the island is to book a 100 island hopping tour to make you and some of the main islands, including three and the most popular Quezon Island, Governor Island, and Children's Island. There is also a 100 island tour from Manila if you want a quick but hassle-free day tour. Go swimming, snorkeling, camping, cliff jumping, and do more in this popular travel destination in the province. How about Our Lady of Rosary of Manawag, a famous pilgrimage site of the north? Granted the title of Minor Basilica by Pope Francis last 2015. This recognized the church history and architectural value. It is also a canonical officiate of the Papal Basilica of St. Mary Mayor in Rome, built in 1605. The church has seen millions of devotees and thousands of religious folk until make it a pilgrimage to Manawag every year. Especially during the Holy Week, the image of Our Lady of Rosary of Manawag, which many Catholics believe to be miraculous, can also see and found here. The church had withstand bombing during World War II and an earthquake in 1982. After the renovation, you will now see a Rosary Park, spacious candle gallery, and a museum of the minor basilica, which houses the replica and dresses she used in special occasion. You don't need to be religious to appreciate the beauty of building and surrounding areas. The church itself is located on the top of a hill, and its facade is very picturesque, while the interior features interesting religious paintings. Now we can go to Cabuangan Beach and Defco. Cabuangan Beach is located in the town of Burgos. The trip to the remote beach is not easy and can take up an hour from the proper town. But once you see it stretched in white sand beach, the blue waters, you will instantly know it is worth it. There are not a lot of accommodation in the vicinity, so it would be best if plan your trip as early as possible. If you're feeling adventurous, you can also bring a tent and camp at the beach. In recent years, the beach has become popular among tourists thanks to its depth pool, a natural pool that requires quite a bit of effort to reach. You will need to wear proper footwear, as you will have to traverse and climb rock formation with sharp edges. Despite its name, through the dead pool, it's not really dangerous. Many tourists actually enjoy taking a refreshing dip at the pool. You need to become more careful, and some of the edges of the pool can be sharp. Its original name is depth pool, but some locals start calling it death pool. And the intriguing name caught on. How about Patar Beach? Less than 1 kilometer away from the Enchanted Cave is the Patar Beach, one of the most popular beaches in Bolinao in the whole of Pangasinan. Like many beaches near Manila, its beach is popular from those seeking a quiet break from the hustle and bustle of the city. Patar Beach is is famous for its long stretch of golden sand and clear blue waters that make for a refreshing swimming. If you're a fan of sunset, Patar Beach is perfect, will not disappoint, as its location just facing the West Philippine Sea gives it amazing sunset views. For a day trip, you can rent any of the huts dotted along the beach, but there are also a handful on the resort nearby if you wish to stay longer. You may also camp at the beach and use the public toilet and shower for a fee. Visitor may also visit the nearby Patar Rock Formation, which will give you breathtaking views of a huge coral reefs along the coastline. We can now explore the Enchanted Cave. The Enchanted Cave in Bolinao is a good place to cool off if you're visiting Pangasinan during the summer months. Inside is a pool of clear, natural, fresh water with an estimated maximum depth of 6 feet, making it ideal for a refreshing swim. It is located in a park near Patar Beach. It is deemed enchanted because locals believe that millions of years ago, Bolinao was actually underwater. This belief is supported by the presence of coral rocks and fossilized clams in the municipality, many of which you will see on your way to the entrance of the cave. The fact that the Enchanted Cave in Bolinao is made of coral limestone also supports this theory. This history makes the cave one of a kind and is one of the reasons why it has become the most favorite stop among tourists. Outside the cave, you can also swim in an outdoor pool or enjoy the mini waterfalls inside the park. Those who want to extend their stay can rent cabanas in the park.
Talking to me, don't you leave me by myself.
Bolinao Falls is made up to 3 waterfalls: Bolinao Falls 1, 2, and 3. But don't let the names fool you. They may not be sound as spectacular, but they are actually some of the top Pangasinan tourist spots along the Patar Beach, and the three falls located in Barangay Samang Norte along Bolinao River are the most visited places in Bolinao, where the falls are accessible by a car and don't require much walking. The road going there can be rough, so be prepared for a bumpy ride. Your Pangasinan trip will not be completed without tasting the delicacies. Tupig is one of the most famous, as Luwak Pangasinan is a street made of glutinous rice, coconut milk, sugar, and margarine is being sold in almost every bus stop and plaza. And you don't want to miss them in your visit. Patapat is a native sticky rice delicacy that is popular in Pangasinan, especially in Poso Robio, Balungaw, Alaminos, and Manawag. This native delicacy is made from glutinous rice in a weave of coconut leaves. It is cooked in a boiling sugar cane juice. After cooking, it is tied up in bunches and they let it dry and drip. Puto Kalashao. A sweet bite-sized rice cake is a dream of everyone. Kalashao Pangasinan made it possible. Its sweetness comes from the rice juice that was gathered when grinding. They serve the famous Kalashao Puto that comes in the flavor of strawberry, mango, ugbe, pandan, and the classic. You know Kaliskisan? Kaliskisan is Pangasinan version of papaitan. This can either use goat, beef, or pig innards as the prime ingredients. The innards are simmered in water and mixed with spices to taste. The animal fats, also called asebo, is added to enhance the meaty flavor. Kaliskisan can be your go-to food in cold weather. The Aluminous Longanisa. It is a longanisa in the Philippines version of sausage. The Aluminous Longanisa particularly has distinctive garlic, meaty, and salty taste. It is made up of pork, meat, and fat colored with red achuete. After adding the additional spices, the mixture is then wrapped in a pork intestine into sausage shape. What is a province without festival? Festival, or the Bangus Milkfish Festival, is one of the major and most exciting festivals in the Philippines worth visiting. The yearly euphoria envelopes the city of Dagupan with a high level of excitement as the street dancers, in their most striking costumes, depict the harvest of bangus. Learn the various ways of cooking bangus in one-on-one ways while indulging in its succulent taste. See skilled Dagupeños speedily classify the bones and eat bangus. Discover the most beautiful, longest, and heaviest bangus. Witness the 10,000 pieces of the Gupan bangus simultaneously being grilled in a scorching kilometer stretch. Their mouth-watering aroma wafting through the air. The Bangus Festival was conceptualized in August 2001 and was subsequently launched in 2002 as a part of the annual Fiesta Diet celebration. Today, the festival has created a mark and culture of its own, earning for itself a global reputation and an irreversible of roles. The Fiesta's Diet have been made part of more popular Bangus Festival. Undeniably, the Bangus Festival has become the best advertisement for the world's tastiest fish, the Gupan Bangus. Did you know that Philippine national anthem lyrics was written in Pangasinan? The lyrics was originally a poem entitled Filipinas. It was written in Spanish by Jose Palma and Bautista. In Pangasinan are now part of the Guinness World Record, entirely made of Kalashao #1 product, Puto rice cake. Kalashao Puto Festival overwhelming 300,000 Puto rice cake. Kudos to Kalashao for making in the Guinness Book of Record. Kalashao Pangasinan, this town now officially holds the Guinness World Record for largest rice cake mosaic a year after the town's attempt in 2017. Mayor Joseph Arman Bauzon announced the town's feat to snatch the world record from Japan's 64 square meter rice cake mosaic during the street party on Sunday evening, which was the finale to the town's Putu Rice Cake Festival in that year. On December 8, the official and the whole municipality of Lestown formed a 209.36 square meter rice cake mosaic as their entry to the Guinness World Book of Records. Engineer Melanio Di Vera, designate tourism officer, said Monday the mosaic was made of about 300,000 small pieces of bite-sized rice cake, the main and famous product of this town, cooked by the puto makers here. Bayambang, Pangasinan, a 51-meter tall St. Vincent Ferrer statue situated at Barangay Bani here, which will be an entry to the Guinness World Record for the tallest structure made of bamboo, will be finished and inaugurated on April 5, 2019. Mary Claire Judith Phyllis Jose Cambao, the wife of Mayor Jose Cambao, said the blessing and inauguration ceremony is in time with the 400th founding anniversary of St. Vincent Ferrer Parish Church here and the 600th year death anniversary of St. Vincent. With that, I hope you enjoy this virtual tour and see you on your next trip. Talaga po.
Pangasinan yang pinapit Daan mo kami alikwas Iudagat ko lawas Dan pusong Pangasinan Agkanaling manan